Welcome to Backseat Confessions Podcast. Slide into the backseat as we listen to mostly anonymous strangers tell us stories from their lives. I'm a rideshare driver in Atlanta, and the people getting in my car have absolutely no idea I'm going to ask them to share. My commitment to you is to tell at least a snippet of virtually every story recorded in my car in the order they were told to me. My hope is that you laugh, cringe, cry, but mostly connect to these amazing people. You may find a piece of your own story or just feel more connected to the rest of us. Join us, won't you? So, hey, my new friend. This is an adult podcast. Themes and languages are definitely not suitable for everyone. Listener discretion is advised. Today, on episode 6, there are just some really thought-provoking themes that come up. People dealing with relationships where their partner is not who they thought they were, people whose partner has jealousy issues, people in management dealing with difficult customers, and what to do when you have a missed connection with a stranger you had chemistry with. And in the middle of all that is one heck of an adventure. I would dare to say that this is one of my all-time favorite crazy moments shared with me on BCP. Another thing that makes today's episode a little unusual is that 3 of the 5 stories are from dudes. And you will notice that overall I get more female participants than male. Okay, so let's drive right in. Get it? Instead of dive right in? Okay, well. If you have to explain the joke, it's not. All right, all right. We're going in. So our first writer today struggles a little bit to get out what he's trying to say about his girlfriend. I think part of it is that this was probably the first time he'd said any of this out loud, and so he was sort of processing on the fly. Side note. If you want the greatest drinking game of all time, take a sip every time this gentleman says the word like. I've never heard anyone use the word like that excessively. And I'm saying that in a world where we probably use the word like too much. Anywho, I'm ready to get this story started, but there is definitely an odor in here. Bruh. When was the last time you took a bath?
Story number 26. Friday, November 6th, 2020, 8:44 p.m.
I've never really ever told anybody this. Okay, so my girlfriend, she's from Toronto.
Okay.
So I just visited out there.
Yeah.
A couple months ago when the pandemic and everything kind of started.
Yeah.
And I had got stuck out there and everything, so it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And it was so I kind of the pandemic kind of gave us a chance to really learn about each other and everything,
Yeah.
and I kind of got to really know her more,
Yeah.
And when you ever you kind of you really thought you liked somebody,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, and then you really get to really see how they really are,
Yep.
Living with them and everything. And I ain't never really it was just certain things she was doing and everything. I ain't never really even told her this, and we've been kicking it for we've been dating for 2 years now, but it's my first time actually being I was stuck out there in Toronto for 2.5 months.
Oh, wow.
Just with her, and we usually just hang out 3 days, or whatever. She probably spend the night for a night or whatever. So I ain't never really get to see how she really is,
That's right.
So she's and I ain't never told her this either. I don't even know how to tell her.
Yeah.
But it's she's like she's just like not really like, I don't know, like I think I feel like I fell in love with the image and not the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like she's like I'm thinking like it's like outside of like everything. Like if you see her like just walking around, you know, you'll be like, damn, she's like gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, you think she's like a princess or like, but she's like the total opposite. Like when you really get to, you know what I'm saying? Cause she farts in her sleep. She's like, you know, like don't really like if she gets like too it was a time like when I was there, she didn't take a shower for like 3 days.
Oh.
You know, so I'm like,
ouch. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, like what you doing? You know, so, you know, it was the point like she was like, oh, there's nothing to do. Like, why am I? And it kind of made me think. Like, she was like, why should I like get all ready and take a shower and everything when it's nothing to do? Yeah. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
so she just doesn't really like take care of herself.
Yeah, like not. Yeah, and that really like hit me. Like I'm like what did I do here? Like, did I make the right decision? Like, you know, and it's like, I don't know. Like it's like every time like I had said something to her about it, like in a, like, you know, like when you just kinda like you don't really talk. You know, I'm not talking like about you, but I'm talking about you, but I'm like
doing it roundabout.
Yeah, like I'm like making a story about somebody else, but it's really about you.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yo, like one of my homies, like he just, you know, he don't take baths and that. Like he don't really, you know, he don't really like be like he be getting like too relaxed and he don't really like take care of himself and everything, you know. Yeah. And then she was like, her response to it though was like, she was like dang, like what is he doing? You know, like why isn't he? You know, and I'm like,
and you're looking at her going,
yeah, I'm looking at her like, I don't know. I thought, you know, you don't know. And then I'm like, she's pretty much giving, and then it's like she's giving me all the right answers, but it's like she's hypocritical to it. You know, she's not doing it. She's not practicing her own. What they say, like you don't practice what you preach.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just like, this is wild, son. Like, I don't know. Like I feel like. I don't know, like I don't know, man. It's like I don't know. It's like I felt like I wouldn't say like she's fake or nothing like that. I won't say that. It's just I don't think she's all the way true. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like all the way, because it's like when I see her, she's like bad, you know, like gorgeous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like, and it's like times like, you know, we've like kicked it or whatever, and you know, it's like I don't really see that until like that time I was out there and I really got a chance to really see how, you know, how she is. And I don't know, like I ain't never even told her to this day. Like I don't even know how to even, because it's like she's I don't know, man. Like she's coming out here next week.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be out here for a week. And you know, it's just like I don't even know what this has been on my conscience, like on my mind since April.
Wow.
You know, and I don't know, man. I don't even know how to tell it. Like I don't even know what to say. Like,
right, that's a tough one. Yeah, because I feel like it's one thing, you kind of know when a girl is, you know, really good at fixing herself up, that when she takes her makeup off and she's relaxed, she's not going to look that way. And that doesn't feel like what it is for you. But it almost sounds like, if you're talking about like bathing and basic stuff like that, like nobody wants their girl to stink. Right. Like, right? That's just, that's no good.
Yeah, man.
And I feel you on that. And that would be a tough one if you're like, oh, I really like this girl, which I'm assuming you like who she is as a human being.
Yeah. She's cool.
She's cool.
She's cool. Yeah, she's
cool. So then
you're
like, I don't want to end up in a long-term relationship with someone who doesn't bathe.
Yeah, like I feel like she's a little too comfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like
that's legit.
Yeah, like she's too comfortable with
Yep.
And I'm like,
and you're like, dude, if she's doing that now, then 5 years into a relationship.
Exactly. It's like, yo, I'm gonna have to be stressing you about, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, and it's like, the way it hit me when she was like, I don't feel like I have to like get up and take a shower before I'm not doing anything and getting ready. I'm like, yo, like, but you should still take a shower just to stay, you know, just to stay fresh, like just to stay right. Like, what you mean? Like,
yeah, no, I feel you on that. Yeah, that's a whole different thing than I don't feel like putting on makeup or something, which, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need to put makeup on when you're in the house necessarily. But, my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides the drinking game, he really hits on some very real topics that I think are hard to approach with someone that you're in a relationship with. You want your person to be comfortable around you and not be fake and put on airs, but for the love of all that is holy, please shower from time to time. And if you were this guy, how would you approach this subject with a lovely lady? I mean, no woman is going to enjoy being told she doesn't take care of herself very well. So, good luck on that one. But for our guy here, honestly, better to find out before you move in together than after. Our next rider did something unusual in that she agreed to share from her life, but she said it was something happening presently and she wanted my advice. First of all, that is always so flattering when someone really wants your input. Secondly, as you're probably beginning to realize, I give my advice a lot, even when the rider isn't asking for it. So there is that. Oh, and stop being such a flirt with everyone else and just focus on me. God.
Story number 27. Friday, November 6th, 2020, 11:37 p.m.
So I am in a relationship with a woman, okay?
Okay.
We've been dating for about 2 months.
Okay.
And just recently, actually, literally about a day or two ago, she comes at me, saying that she's been very unsure about us because she thinks that I am a very, I guess, too nice, quotation mark, too nice, too friendly.
Okay. Meaning like flirty, or just like she thinks you're too sweet and naive?
I guess she takes it in a way that I'm very flirty, but I think I'm just a very nice person because I don't flirt.
Okay.
I don't like to flirt like that. If it isn't that I have some, I have my eyes on someone, I won't flirt with them.
Okay.
I know guys like to flirt with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't react to that. I don't entertain them. I don't give them any attention. And she knows that, and it bothers her that I don't give them attention because she wants me to tell them, to back off or to, stop talking to me or whatever.
Right.
But it's just, if a guy is flirting with me, I don't like to give them any attention. I don't like to entertain them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just ignore them, literally.
Yeah.
But it bothers her that I ignore them. Instead she wants me to tell them that I should, tell them to back off, blah, 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 I don't know what. And it's like, she thinks that I'm not making her a priority because, so today I was at work, I work at the rooftop upstairs. Mm-hmm. And I'm not a bartender, but, I serve drinks and I'm basically a server upstairs. And, people, a lot of guys do like to flirt up there just because, if it's like a bar kind of type of environment. So, drunk guys, obviously will flirt.
Yep.
And, so, yeah, I did that tonight, and I was going to make plans to go to the gym after with a friend
mm-hmm.
that I've known for years.
Yeah.
And so she was trying to make plans with me and wanted to have drinks after, but I told her that I already had plans to go to the gym with my friend, and she got really upset about it and started telling me that, I don't make her a priority, that, I make her feel less than what she is. And it's just really frustrating because I give her all this attention, I do a lot of things for her actually. And it's just, I feel like at the end, it's like, it's not really, how do I say it, like she doesn't consider how much effort I put into us, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's frustrating, because I tell her, I want her to be her own person. I want myself to be my own person. I don't want us to be so smothered against each other 24/7.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, that leads to a toxic relationship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know how to explain that to her because she does get offended easily, in my opinion. And I don't want to come off as being rude or being a bitch or
mm-hmm.
I don't want her to take it the wrong way. So it's just really hard. I honestly don't know what to do right now because I feel like she's at the I feel like she's like trying to break up with me because I don't make her a priority. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just hard. I don't know what to do right now.
Wow. Well, I mean, it does sound like, just from listening to your story, that you are a confident person and kind of you're comfortable with yourself and who you are. Yeah. And she's not. And so she's actually trying to push you into a codependent relationship, which you're trying with you're not very you're very wise for your age to have already started spotting that and realizing that you don't want to go there. Yeah. So, yeah, it feels like to me, like, I know you really like this girl, but maybe it's okay if it goes away. You're going to definitely, because you're a very kind, confident person, you're going to need to find somebody who can let you be you, right? Right. And it's not fair. If she has issues that she needs to work through, she should go to therapy and deal with her issues on feeling like you're not giving her enough attention and you're not telling guys off and being rude. I mean, literally part of your job, if you're a waitress, is to be kind to people. That's how you get your tips and stuff, right? That's how you make the money. So you make your money. Yeah, and you're a beautiful young lady, and so I can totally see if I was a young guy, I'd be like, I would at least probably say hi to you or something. I mean, that makes total sense. So you're just being yourself and you're not being rude. I think all of that, unless there's something you're not saying, that really just speaks to her, not you, not you so much. So, yeah. So how would you feel if this relationship went away? Would you be devastated, or would you be okay?
I mean, I would be, just because I mean, in the short time that we've been together, I've learned a lot from her. Yeah. Actually, I would say that she's a lot more vocal about her opinion than I am about mine. Okay. I've learned that from her. You know, like, I've learned to put my foot down. I feel like I've learned a lot from her.
That's huge.
But, you know, like, it's just that at the end of the day, we're our own people. You know, like, she lives in Athens, so I drive about like an hour and a half to see her and stay with her for a few days. And so we're together often. So it's like, you know, like, when we're not together, you know, like, I obviously, like, I have friends that I want to hang out with. Yep. And, you know, like, I have my own thing. I have school. We go to different schools. I go to school in Kennesaw. She goes to school in Athens. And, you know, like, when I tell her, you know, like, oh, I have plans I have to be on campus, like, this day and this day at this time, it kind of bothers her, you know, like, and it really drives me crazy, because, like, how could that bother you? You know, like, I mean, school is my priority. She also is one of my priorities, but it's like school, work, you know, like, I want to keep my social life. I don't want to be all around you 24/7, because that isn't healthy for either of us, you know? Yep. I don't know. Yeah. I think, you know, just from being, like, you know, just older, I think that when you're your age, you're in your 20s, early 20s. So there's so much life that you have ahead of you, and you're putting your priorities of, like you said, school and whatever else first. And I think what you're really discovering is that, and I think this is an important lesson to carry with you for your whole life, is that some friendships are meant for, like, a season of your life. Yeah. And then every once in a while you get a friendship that goes the whole distance. But I think most people, the friendships that go the whole distance, you might get like 5 or 10 of those or something. Like, there's just not that many. And the people that come into your life who you really, like, connect with and love and, like, bring something to you, and then they leave at some point, you can't feel like it was a loss, because you've already talked about the things that she's given you. Yeah. But it definitely feels like she's just not mature enough yet, and you just are, to know that her codependent ways, they're unhealthy. That's not sustainable. And also not your job to fix, right? Yeah, okay. And, right? Because that's a hard thing. Like, I used to be a fixer. When I was in the dating world, I would try to fix people. And girls are even worse about it than guys, but definitely I was a fixer. And it never works out, because people aren't projects. And so, especially in the context of dating, it's one thing if you're, like, you know, somebody's therapist or something, is sort of your job, or a doctor. But when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's impossible to be the person that fixes them and be the person that's their lover. Right. Right. It doesn't really work. You got to be one or the other. So, yeah,
I wish you all the best.
Thank you. That means a lot, because actually, like, this whole time, I thought maybe it was like my fault that, this relationship wasn't working. But
No.
I feel like at the end of the day, like, I am the more mature one. I'm the one that, like, that believes that our own lives, should be like to ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, like we have our own thing going on, like we have our own priorities. Like, obviously you're one of them, but, like, I have other stuff that I have to deal with. I have other stuff that I need to take care of. And, like, I can't just, like, have you included in that 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like I said, a little bit mature for your age, and as you get older, you'll find the right partner that will totally recognize all that, and then you'll be like, "Oh, I wasn't crazy." Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
For
So
real.
I'm not crazy.
You're not crazy. No, you're actually, sadly, just a little bit mature for your age.
Yeah.
So good luck with that until people catch up with your emotional age. In some ways, it's hard to be so grown up for your age. Like, our new friend here starts to question if there's something wrong with the way she's seeing the situation with her possessive, jealous girlfriend, because still, she really likes her and is grateful for all she's learned from her girlfriend. I just hope she doesn't sacrifice something wonderful about herself, i.e., that she's a good person to satisfy the brokenness of her partner. Someday, young lady, you're going to find the person that loves you for the way you treat others. And in the meantime, just keep being so great. Man, this next writer tells one of my favorite stories on BCP. It just has so many great layers and plenty of jaw-dropping moments along the way. Also, to give you additional context, I picked him up from his girlfriend's house, and she came out, and let me tell you, she was easily one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in person, and she also just seemed incredibly sweet and kind. When he first got in the car, I was like, listen, I don't know you or her, but if you mess this up, I'm gonna have to beat your ass, because a girl like that just doesn't come along very often. She was the full package. In fact, I think she'd even cooked him a delicious home meal before I got there. Anyways, I say all of that to say, I thought he was a pretty good looking dude and had some charm, but I'm guessing from his ability to pull the ladies that he was just flying at a different altitude than those of us who are mere mortal men. Uh-oh. Shh. Someone's at the door. And he sounds pissed.
Story number 28. Saturday, November 7th, 2020, 12:13 a.m.
I got a story about this one time, man, kind of like Shaggy. I was at this girl's house. Well, she actually called me over about 4 in the morning.
Okay.
She asked me to come over, everything was all good. Her and her friend had been drinking. They were having a few drinks, and she was like, yeah, hey, where are you? Come over. So I'm like, all right. So I go to her house. I go inside. We're chilling. You know what I mean? She's already kind of hot and ready. You know what I mean? So she's like, all right. You know what I mean? It's time to start getting it on. So
yeah,
I'm like, I don't know, something just like, as a man, you have your own intuition as well. You know what I mean? So her phone rings. You know what I mean? And she declines the call. So instantly through my head, I'm like, all right. So I tell her, I'm very vocal. Oh, just in my sign, I'm a Gemini. I tell her, I'm like, hey, don't have nobody popping up over here because you over here playing games, you know what I mean, or whatever. She's like, man, no, it's nothing like that. Doom. So she declines the call. We get back to about to get it on, and I hear a knock at the door. Bang, 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 bang. Right? So instantly I jump up. My friend he's not feeling this no more at all. You know what I mean? So he's like, nah, man, what's going on? So he's banging at the door. Bang, 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 bang. I'm telling her, like, hey, I just told you not to do this. What's going on? So I'm like, she's like, no, don't worry about it. Just come on. Let's go. Let's do it. I'm like, I'm not.
Wait, what? While someone's banging on the door?
And I'm like, no,
Crazy
I'm not.
Person.
I'm not doing this. I'm like, I can't do it. It's not. I'm like, look, this is what you do. See, her friend's in the other room. I forgot to add. Her friend's in the other room, sleep in the bed or whatever. So I'll tell her, me being a good thinker that I am, I'm like, hey, go answer the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in and get in the room in the bed with your friend.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just gonna be like, I'm here with her. You
Right.
know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm not gonna get you in trouble.
Right.
Because I'm not want to go through with this anymore. It's already an uncomfortable situation.
Yep.
So she's like, oh, whatever. All right, I'll go get the door. So I go get in the room with a friend. I take off my clothes and everything.
Now, does this friend doesn't know you or doesn't know you're there?
No, never met me a day in her
God.
life. She just feels me slide in the bed next to her, right? So I found out later, she told her friend told her that, girl, I thought you sent me a gift. You know what I mean? So, long story short, she opens the door. Whoa, I hear somebody tearing. Woo, man, what the F is going on? You think this is crazy? You crazy? Woo, I know somebody in here. I seen him walk up. So he had been sitting outside the whole time.
Oh, my God.
He saw me
dude.
run up the stairs and come knock on the door and everything. So he been sitting outside the whole time. I know somebody's in here. Woo, I hear him opening doors and everything. So I get closer to the friend. You know, we get snuggled up and everything. Yep. So finally, they bust in the room door. Boom. He turned on the light. What's going on in here? So I got the covers on me like I'm me and the friend doing it right now. Hey man, what you got going on, bro? You tripping? Man, what's up with you, man? We in here with my girl. Cut the lights off. So he stood there for a second.
Oh my God.
And I ain't gonna lie, the friend was kind of ugly. I was just being real with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he stood there for a second and he looked at her, he looked at me, and he said, y'all must think I'm stupid.
Oh my!
I'm like, what you mean, man? I'm here with well, I don't want to say her name because
don't say her name.
So he's like, I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? So he's like, ain't no way in hell you in here with her.
He was doing the math.
Yeah,
he was looking at your number and her number, going, those two don't add up.
He's like, listen, there's no way in hell you in here with her. That's what he tells me. So I'm like, man, what you talking about? Woo. So he asked me to get up. He say, look, man, you gotta go right now. So I'm like, what you mean I gotta go? So me not knowing the girl that I came to see, we had a little thing going on where it wasn't just, we was just, you know what I mean, messing around like that. We kind of liked each other a little bit.
Yeah.
But this had been her boyfriend for a while.
Dang.
So she's actually mentioned me to him and all kind of stuff, I guess, to upset him or whatever. And he went to say, hey, what is your name? Is your name Blase Squaze? I'm like, hey, man, no, my name's Jake.
Right.
I'm like, my name's Jake. What do you mean? So, long story short,
dude, you had to think on your feet this night.
I didn't know what to do. So basically, I get up, put my clothes on, whatever. I didn't even meant to mention he came in. He was armed and ready, all kind of stuff. Yeah,
like literally had a gun.
He had a gun.
Oh my God,
you know what I mean?
dude.
And he didn't know what. I don't think he knew what to do.
Yeah.
But he just knew he wanted me to leave. So, long story short, I get up. I'm like, all right, man, it's all good. We don't got to resort to violence. You good? I'm about to go. You can have her.
Yep.
So I leave. I'm upset. I'm mad. 2 hours. I say about 2 hours later, about 6 o'clock in the morning, she's knocking on my door.
The crazy? No.
She's knocking on my door. She's back at my house. She said, we need to finish what we started.
No.
So, okay, this is where the story gets crazy.
Okay, wait. This isn't the crazy part. Oh my God, you are the best ride ever. Okay.
So this is where the story, and this is no lie. I'm not making it up.
I believe you. Remember to keep the microphone close.
She knocks on my door. She's like, we need to finish what we started. Okay, so I'm like, all right, cool. I invite her in.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment complex, so my neighbor's door is like 2-3 houses across. Not even 2-3 houses, 2-3 feet across.
Right.
About 30 minutes after, you know what I mean, I don't tell everybody, you know, I got a good, you know what I mean, good drive on me. So about 30 minutes later, you know what I mean?
Right.
I hear knocking at my neighbor's door, like hard knocking at my neighbor's door.
Oh no.
Like, I didn't understand what was going on. I thought something was going on with my neighbor.
Yeah.
I opened my door, and it's him.
Oh my
thinking
God.
he knows what door she went in or whatever.
Oh my God, bro.
So I immediately shut my door and I go get my weapon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, cause now it's at a point where you're at my house now, bro.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like you're on my turf now, and you're playing a crazy game.
Mm-hmm.
So he does that, and when he knocks on the door after I shut the door, I just took her and I threw her outside with him.
Yeah.
Like, look, you can have her back. I'm done.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if he beat her up. I don't know what happened, but my night ended just like that.
Oh,
crazy.
My God, dude.
I don't think he wanted the extra problems that came with it as well. So once he got his girl back, they decided to leave. So I hope she's okay.
Right.
I hope she didn't get beat up.
Right.
I actually received a call from her recently. She didn't sound beat up.
Okay, good.
So, that was actually my crazy story, man.
Wow, dude, that is like my heart rate went up for you. Like that is. Oh, there's nothing that would be scarier than a jilted boyfriend with a gun.
Oh my God.
That dude,
he was sick, man. I could see it in his face.
Right, yeah.
I probably would be too, though.
Right, I know. I think a lot of us can we can empathize that guy, but oh man.
I can't fault him, man, but
I'm glad you escaped though with your life and an amazing story to tell.
I'll say she was worth it though.
What? Oh my God! What? Really?
Yeah,
okay.
She was definitely worth it. You gotta make a left for her.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. These are backseat confessions, man.
Dude,
we got a great thing going here, man.
Okay, so you see what I mean. This story has so many wonderful layers. It's just a Hall of Famer in my book. Probably my only bone of contention with him was throwing the lady in her freshly post-coital bliss out to the proverbial wolves. But other than that, he's just kind of the man. And the broken, angry boyfriend, you can tell our writer has pity on him. I mean, basically it was like, hey man, your girlfriend couldn't help herself around the hunk of love that I am. But it must really be hard to be on the other side of this thing, dude. Oh yeah, and our writer, I love that he said he didn't regret it. Like basically, she brought the heat to the bedroom. Wowza. Our next writer to me is the classic definition of a mensch. He has standards that he expects from people around him, including the customer, and he protects the people he manages. Plus, this story comes with a healthy dose of redemption, and I'm a sucker for a good redemption story. Oh, and a little pro tip for all of you lovely people out there. Don't piss off the people that serve you food. It's just not a good idea on multiple levels.
Story number 29. Friday, November 13th, 2020, 7:47 p.m.
Okay, right. So I'm a manager at Wendy's. I had this lady come through one night, drive-thru.
Yeah.
She was drinking. She was rude. So I told her, no, you guys turn this way.
Yeah. Okay.
So I told her, no, you're not getting no food here. So she came back the next day.
Right.
Turned it down again. No, you're not getting no food. You're not getting anything until you apologize.
Yeah.
Because you were very rude. She came back for about 2 weeks. Didn't let her get nothing. Nope. You got to drive out the way to go to Wendy's. So one day she came early. It had to be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So it was my day to be there early. So I seen her. I said, oh, you think you're slick? No, I'm not taking your order. You can't. So she pulled up. She was like, can I talk to you? Yes. We sat and we had a conversation for about 30 minutes. She was saying that how she had just got let go from her job and she was out with her girls. She was drinking. And it all came to her that one night. And it was just very bad. And she acted very, just out of her character.
Yeah.
And I understood that because who hasn't been there?
That's right.
So we talked. I told her I apologize, for my behavior that night because, I could have acted better. She apologized. And now to this day, when she comes in, we call each other by our first names. Wow. And she's like the politest lady ever. Aww. And now you make a turn right here. Yeah. And then just a day ago, she ended up getting a new job and she came and told me. Aww. And I was just so happy for her. And it was just amazing. And it's
a great redemption story.
Yes. No, you make the left.
Make a left?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Geez,
so even though, you get rude people,
yeah,
some people will surprise you.
Yeah.
And that's my story right there.
Dude, I love it. And I love, by the way, that we were talking earlier about a different situation, but I love that you do not deal with rude people. And if they're going to treat you and the people that are working for you in an awful way, you'll just
No.
be like, yeah, no, you're not coming back
No.
here. You can't stop them from going somewhere else, but you're not going to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel we don't need your money. It's
No.
You know, we don't want to be here because we want to be here. We're here because we're doing a job.
That's right.
Now, everyone has a job to do.
Right.
And I'm not going to let you abuse the people who I work with, and I'm not going to let them abuse you.
Yep.
So therefore, let's all be cordial. Let's get this,
Yep.
let you get your food, let us get our money, and let's go about our day.
I love it. Yeah. I told you, it feels like an adult spanking, but sometimes people don't ever get corrected in life, and then they just keep going on, so they can just be rude. And so I love that you stand up to the bullies and are like, nope, not going to do it. And then this one's fantastic because the redemption angle of it just comes back. So yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It's, when you're dealing with customer service, it's, people say the customer always right. That's not 100% because you never know what a person is dealing with in that day.
Yeah, true.
And, and you can say something smart or something that they misunderstood, and then they just snap and go off on you.
Yeah.
And like that lady, she just got let go from her job. That, during this pandemic, that's
tough.
Awful.
That's awful. Yeah.
So I can understand that. I mean, I'm a human being just like everyone else. If you cut me, don't I bleed too?
That's it.
Yeah. I just refuse to be talked to any kind of way, and you still expect me to service you? No.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand too, is being rude to people who are going to serve you food. I've heard horror stories about people who are rude to their waitress, and their burger took a trip to the bathroom before it made it to their table. So I'm always really good to people.
See, and that's the thing. It's like, I won't do that because I believe in my own karma.
For sure.
So I'm not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize my karma.
Right.
If you want to be rude, the next Wendy's is 10 miles. 10 miles. Drive your 10 miles in your intoxicated state to wherever it is you're going.
Yeah.
And that's going to be that. Good luck.
Yes.
I wish you nothing but safety, but your money is no good here.
Man, that's
no
fantastic.
Good.
Yep, love this guy. Good dude, no nonsense, and has a heart. I'd work for you any day. And he's right, we all have our bad days. I'm not advocating that we let people abuse us, but if someone shows real remorse and wants to make things right, there are few things more beautiful, to me anyways, than redemption and reconciliation. Ma'am, I imagine Wendy's has never tasted better than after you owned up to your shit and made amends. I think we can all learn a little something about how to be grace-filled humans from these folks right here. Our next writer wraps us up today with one of the shortest stories on BCP. It clocks in at under a minute, but hits on something so relatable. The human experience is just so interesting. And sometimes you meet someone and there's just chemistry.
Story number 30. Friday, November 13th, 2020, 11:10 p.m.
All right.
There was this one time I went to New Orleans and I met this guy. It was really, really fun. He was really cool, bought a lot of drinks. Very nice guy. The energy was so strong. But my cousin wanted to leave early. Mm-hmm. We were on Bourbon Street. And I didn't get his number. So I went the next day and I didn't see him again. So I hate that I missed that connection with him.
Wow.
Because the vibe and the chemistry was strong.
Wow.
So you don't get that when you meet someone, but we had fun in the moment.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess it was all about having fun in the moment.
I guess so. Yeah. So a story like this may remind you of a similar moment in your life when you met a stranger, had an amazing connection, but were never able to do anything with it. What is your story of an unresolved moment or connection that you think about from time to time and just wonder, what would have happened if this relationship or opportunity had come together? How would your life be different? On the flip side, though, I think she does a great job of processing the emotion of having that question mark in her mind while letting it be a moment in time and not demand more from that moment than it was able to give. Practicing living in the present, while much easier said than done, can allow us to live with more contentment in our present than if we're always worried about the future or disappointed with our past. So here's to practicing living in the moment. May you realize that right here, right now, as you're listening to my voice, that most of us are actually okay. Not overthinking the past or future, just right here, right now, in this very moment. This is what happens when you are a rideshare driver in Atlanta and ask people for their stories. These weren't handpicked people with great stories. They just happened to get in my car and be gracious enough to share with all of us. And who knows, maybe someday you'll be in Atlanta and need to grab a rideshare and end up telling the rest of us the next great story on BCP. I'd actually encourage you to, every so often, just ask a stranger to share a story from their life. You never know what you might learn. I believe that our stories are powerful. They can make you laugh, cringe, cry, or even get you to think or feel differently. Our stories can truly make this world a little bit better place. So please, subscribe, rate, and listen to this podcast and share it with as many adults as possible. It would mean so much to me. First and foremost, I want to thank the incredible writers who trusted me with your stories. You're my heroes. Thanks also to all the people in the background who have believed in this project/dream. All of the music on this podcast was found on pixabay.com, and it was free, which is an amazing gift when you're starting a podcast on a shoestring budget.